So we're here. I don't know what to say. Yeah. I mean, y'all know what happened. Y'all ain't clicking on this video because you don't know what happened. You know what happened, okay? You know what happened. Yeah. Let's watch the fight. Alright, thanks for watching, like and subscribe. No, I'm just kidding. I was close enough, to be honest, like it was that quick. Yeah, no, do you know what, before I even say anything, bro, we're actually just gonna watch the fight before I even say anything. Like, I'm just gonna shut the fuck up for now. We're just gonna watch the fight. And by the way, sorry that this is in such bad quality. I don't know why, but yeah. So we'll just yeah. I love how Pete Davidson in the background is just yelling about how he's gonna come. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When I was watching this, because I did watch it live, after Ben did that, I'm like, oh, okay, Ben, okay, so you do have that. You know how to do that, but can you do it again? Is the question. I wasn't very fond on the way Ben's moving his hands, but it is possible he could have defeated Jake Paul. But see, when he did this, bro, oh my god, no. See, when I was watching this live, I cannot explain. See, when he did this, fam. Like I said, I had my money on Jake. The entire time I believed Jake Paul was going to win, but I did want Ben to win because I genuinely like Ben as a person. After I started knowing, researching him, I genuinely like him as a person. And it's upsetting to see him lose because he's such a humble guy and I really like him. But see when he did this, I was like, no. I was like, he's going to do that. Because Jake came over with the right and Jake missed. I'm like, Jake's going to make sure he doesn't miss next time you do that. Stop running him. Because see when he done that, I'm not joking. See when he done that, I had flashbacks of Nate Robinson. I had flashbacks of Nate Robinson running at Jake. And Jake just bang. Because that's what Ben just did. Ben ran at him and he had his hands like this. So Jake could have jabbed him. And if he put his hands like this, then he's open for the hook. Because he ran at him. I was literally having flashbacks and Nate Robinson like, no, not again. Not again. But it was painful to watch. See, I knew that Ben was going to struggle to get inside against Jake, because I know Jake is apparently really good at boxing on the back foot. He's good at keeping his distance. Yeah. See, Jake's just not letting him get close, and that's where Ben was going to strive. He doesn't have head movement. That is his problem. Is it here? No, it's not. It's coming though. I don't want to watch it again. I don't want to watch it again. There it is. No. This is actually painful to watch you. See when Jake done that and Ben hit the floor, my jaw hit the floor. Like, because I said in my predictions, I'll admit, I was wrong with my predictions. Partly, I predicted Jake would win, but I predicted Jake to win by TKO in the third or fourth. It was either the third or fourth or fifth. I said I cannot see him knocking Ben Askren out. He'll have to win by outboxing him and the ref will just stop it because it's not a competitive fight. I was wrong. But there is, I don't know how I feel about this, right? I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that because, like, my personal opinion, it was a very early stoppage. That's not me even being, like, oh, biased towards Ben. It was just a very early stoppage. Like, because Ben got up, and in my opinion, Ben looked alright. But I'm going to view it from both sides here, right? Hang on, we'll watch it one last time so you can see it. Right? Where is it? Here. Now, we're gonna give him credit. That was a good right hand by Jake. No matter who you are, that was a good right hand. It was also terrible defense from Ben, if we're being honest. Nice, my phone fell. Yeah, no. If we're being completely honest, it was terrible defense by Ben. But at the same time, you can't hold them. It's like, say, Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. Deontay Wilder's fucking defense against Tyson Fury was shit, but you can't fault Tyson Fury for that, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like that. You can't fault Jake for having Ben's terrible defense, and you got to give credit. It was a nice right hand. Like it looked like it hurt. That's all I'm saying. I would not have got up. So, oh god, it is painful. Like, all I'm saying, my personal opinion, my actual thoughts on the fight, I think it was stopped far too early. I think Ben could have definitely continued to go. I think it still would have been the same outcome. I think that Jake would have either knocked him down again and the ref would have called it, or he would have just unloaded on him in the corner and the ref would have called it. I still think Jake wins late round 1, early round 2. I still think it's the same result, no matter what. But one thing I will say to defend the ref a little bit. Now, I thought it was a very early stoppage, I do. But I'll defend the ref in this sense. The ref has a job not only to officiate the fight, but his job is also to protect the fighters, in the sense of, yes, they're getting in there to hurt each other, blah, blah, but he's also in there to stop it when it needs to be stopped in case somebody gets severely hurt. Now, like I said, I don't think he stopped it at the right time. I thought it was stopped far too early. I thought Ben was alright to go on. The ref clearly thought different. I understand the ref's thought process, and I will defend him for that. He was only trying to do his job, because say he had have let that happen and then Ben got knocked down again. Because you gotta remember, even if Ben, like, say, gets hit in the face, you gotta remember he had hip surgery. What if he falls and he lands on the hip he had surgery on? He could be severely injured. Like, you know what I mean? Anything can happen. Not just from the punches that are thrown. So the ref was doing his job in the sense of he just did not want to risk Ben getting severely injured. Which I get. I still think it was an early stoppage. I don't agree with the stoppage. I agree Jake was going to win anyway, but I don't agree with the stoppage. But I see the ref's point in that sense. I just don't think that... I think the ref was overthinking it a little bit, like I said. I feel like Ben could have continued, but I see the ref's point and why he fought to stop it, but I still disagree that he should have stopped it. But now we're going to talk about it. Now, Jake has now won. I think he's 3-0 as a fighter. He's had 4 fights. Amateur against Deji, pro against Gib, Nate, and Ben Askren now. He's 3-0. First off, let's talk about who should be next, actually. Do you know what? No. Let's leave that to the end. So, I just want to say, fair play to Jake. Ben, fair play to Ben. Because at the end of the day, obviously people are going to take the piss. I'm going to have my jokes about it, even though I was cheering for Ben. I'm going to have my jokes about it. But at the end of the day, they both got in the ring. Even though Ben has done the octagon, you know what I mean? But, like, they both got in the ring because they didn't have to. And Ben secured a bag. But, no, yeah, they both got in the ring. Fair play to both of them. Now, I'm going to tell you why I believe Jake was going to win all along. I do believe Jake has boxing potential. And let me make this clear. Because a lot of people, because so many people dislike Jake Paul so much. I do dislike Jake Paul. I think he's an asshole. But I respect him. And I think because whenever somebody kind of sides with Jake Paul a little bit, people just hear what they want to hear. They don't actually hear what you're saying. I'm not saying Jake Paul has the potential to be a world champion. To be fair, anybody, in my opinion, can achieve anything if they work hard enough. I don't believe Jake Paul will be world champion. If he worked fucking hard enough for fucking years to come, it ain't gonna be anytime soon. Maybe. If he worked from a kid, then yeah, because I believe anybody can achieve anything. But he's not, no, I'm not saying he's gonna be world champion, because people will obviously think that. But when it comes to celebrities / YouTube boxing, out of all the ones we've seen so far, because that's the only ones we can judge off, Jake Paul's at the top, and we'll have to admit that. I'm still not calling him a professional boxer, because he hasn't fought a professional boxer, but I'll call him a fighter. I'll give him his credit and call him a fighter, because he's a tough fucker. Like, well, ain't the fact he's tough, he's a hard-working motherfucker, and you know what I mean? He came out there with the intention, but I'm going to talk about why I think Jake was going to win no matter what. Not only from the skill set, Ben's passion lies within wrestling. Jake's passion lies within boxing now. And I don't know. Jake says his passion lies within boxing. I do believe him. I think he loves the sport. But Ben's is wrestling. Ben didn't come into that fight with, oh yeah, I love this sport. I want to show this sport everything I have. So he didn't have that killer instinct that he had shit to prove. Jake did. You know what I mean? So obviously that's going to motivate Jake. Ben didn't really have any motivation to win that fight. Like, he was getting paid either way. He didn't have any motivation to win the fight. Jake had a lot of motivation. And on top of that as well, aside Ben's passion being with that and Jake's being with boxing, Ben had nothing to lose, because people obviously go, oh, but people are going to take the piss out of him now, and yes they are, but Ben doesn't care. Ben, I think he was the quickest UFC fighter to ever get knocked out in history. He laughs at himself. Ben's a very humble guy about what I've seen. He said, I'm going to go back to teach him wrestling, and that's what I'm going to stick to. And, you know, good for him. I'm glad he's going to do that, because I'd rather him avoid combat sports if he's just, because after his hip surgery, and I don't know what age he is, but like the age he is with his hip surgery, combat sports is not for him, and his passion lies within wrestling anyway, so just go with your passion. But Ben had nothing to lose and everything to gain. But here's the thing I'm going to say, right? I'll go Jake first. Jake's season 1. Jake had everything to lose. If Jake loses this fight, it's done. Well, I wouldn't say it's done, because Jake, I don't think, would let it be done. But it's like everybody is after him now, you know what I mean? It's done. Jake, he also had everything to lose. To gain, I wouldn't say he had everything to gain, but he had to gain about the recognition of beating a pro fighter, like a professional MMA fighter. Now you can say that. Ben, on the other hand, and this is my point, Ben had nothing to lose, and he had everything to win, but everything that he had to win, which was basically fame, he didn't want. He stated that whenever they asked him about being famous, he goes, I don't want to be famous. He stated he has no interest in being famous, and the main thing he gains from winning that fight is being famous, and probably booking another fight, which he didn't want to do anyway. So Ben really didn't have any motivation going into this fight, where Jake did. And then Jake's bodyguard, Shadow, also passed away, like, rest in peace. And that motivated Jake more, because Jake wanted to not only win the fight to prove himself, not only win the fight because he knew he had everything to lose, but also win the fight for Shadow then, and all these other reasons. So Jake had a burning fire in him that made him want to win that fight. Ben didn't. Ben got paid either way. It did not make a difference to Ben whether he won or not, because he said on Logan's podcast, well, if he wins, he's going back teaching his wrestling. If he loses, he's going back teaching his wrestling. Like I said, he had fame to gain. He doesn't want fame. He just wants to be Ben Askren and just live his life and play disc golf and teach wrestling and just, you know, do him. That's what he wants to do. So he had nothing to lose, and everything he had to gain he didn't want anyway. Where Jake, you know, Jake had the world against him. He had a chip on his shoulder. So Jake worked harder. And as simple as that. But yeah, no, I'll say this, right? Because I don't want this video to be too long. So yeah, that's why I think Jake won, not only because Ben has terrible striking. He's an amazing wrestler, but terrible striking. You can't be good at everything, you know what I mean? And I think Jake does have some potential. So that's the other reasons. Now, I said I'm not going to call Jake a professional boxer. But I will call him a fighter, he's a fighter, because he gets in the ring. Like I said, even if you're getting in the ring against nobody, I still respect you for getting in the ring, because you don't have to, and it is still dangerous, because you could fight somebody who's literally 5'2", and one punch could change everything. Like, you're putting it all on the line, so I respect it. Plus, even getting punched in the face by someone really small, like, it's still gonna hurt. A punch is gonna hurt. So I respect anybody who gets in the ring. I will not call him a professional boxer. I will call him a fighter. Now, who do I want to see Jake against next? I want to see Jake against that guy, Joe Fournier or something. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know much about him. He looked good. I can't remember how many fights that they said he had, but he said after his fight he wants Jake Paul. I want to see him against Jake Paul, or Jake Paul. Like I said, I'm not saying when they're saying, oh, Jake fight a professional fighter, I don't want Jake to go and fight somebody who has had 20, 30 plus fights, and is positive in most of them, because that is unfair to Jake. Because obviously I know a lot of people dislike Jake and they want to see him lose, and I want to see him get humbled as well. But I also, if Jake is going to lose, I would rather see Jake lose the right way, instead of him losing to somebody who he's obviously going to lose to, and people to shit on him anyway, if you get me. The same as like anything else, but I want to see him fight a professional boxer. I wouldn't mind seeing him against him. Dylan Dennis is now trying to fight him. I'm going to be honest, if Jake fights Dylan Dennis, that'll be like the one time ever I actually cheer for Jake, because Dylan Dennis is just a twat. You know what I mean? Like, Dylan Dennis is... But yeah, I would like to see Jake fight a professional boxer. So I will not call him a professional boxer, but I will call him a fighter, because like I said, whether you like Jake Paul or not, you gotta give him props. He knocked out Nate Robinson, and yes, Nate Robinson ran at him and was no threat whatsoever. Like, I could have beaten Nate Robinson, you could have beaten Nate Robinson, anybody could have beaten Nate Robinson. And I can't box for my life, because like, if you put Nate Robinson against Nate Robinson, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people could have beaten Nate Robinson because he ran with his hands and all you have to do is hit him. But I could not have done it, you could not have done it, and a lot of people couldn't have done it in the fashion Jake did. Ben Askren would not have beat him. Even though he was terrible, I wouldn't have beat him, he would have fucked me up. But Jake beat him, he knocked him down, he has some power, and Jake kept his distance. He had a good little jab going, you know, all of that. Jake did well. Like I said, if we're comparing Jake to a professional boxing standard, now, professional boxers usually have a lot of amateur fights first. Say Fidel Riley, I'll use Fidel Riley for example. We're comparing Jake to Fidel Riley, it ain't even fucking close. Fidel would kill him. But if we're comparing Jake to what I class him as, which is a celebrity / influencer boxer, then he's top tier. Because out of the ones we've seen so far, he's top tier, because he's the best out of all of them. But if we're comparing it to professional boxing, no, and he will need to prove that. And if Jake fights a professional boxer, and he beats a professional boxer, because it is possible, I don't think it would happen if he fights a good professional boxer, but you never know. You know, like I said, I believe anybody can achieve anything, and he's a hard worker. If he beats a professional boxer, well then fuck it, yeah, sure, I'll call him a professional boxer. But nah, you gotta give him his props. You know, whether you like him or not, I'm not fond of him, but I'll give him his props. He beat Deji, he beat Gibb, he beat Nate, and he beat Ben. They might not have been the highest level of competition, but he still beat them regardless. And he beat, he did beat Deji, but he beat Gibb, Nate, and Ben in fashion. And that's it. So yes, I'm just going to end it there, really. Obviously, I hope Ben's doing well. Like, Ben got a big payday. He don't really care. He's going to go back to what he loves. I wish him all the best. Like, I love Ben Askren. He's great. And again, fair play to Jake. I don't want to see him versus Dylan Dennis, because I think he will kill Dylan Dennis. Because Dylan Dennis, when it comes to, I think it's grappling and shit, Dylan Dennis is very good. But when it comes to striking, like I said, I do believe that, because I would not class Dylan Dennis as a professional boxer, obviously. So I think Jake would beat him. But yeah, I want to see Jake versus a professional boxer now. I want to see his skill set put to the test. Compared to professionals, not a high level. Compared to influencers / YouTubers / celebrities, the ones we've seen, high level. And you can disagree with that. You know, you can have your own opinion. That's fine. Everybody has their opinion. But I just, if you can't admit that he's top tier in the influencers thing, you know, it's just a problem at this point. You gotta give him credit. So yes, that was my reaction to the fight. It was painful. I made a tenner though. £10. So was it worth it? No. I still would have liked to see Ben win and lost the tenner, but you know. But yeah, wish Ben all the best. Fucking fair play to Jake. And yeah, let me know what your opinions were on the fight below. Let me know if you respect Jake a little bit more. Who do you want to see Jake fight next? Let me know all this down in the comments. But just as always, smash the like button, smash subscribe button if you haven't yet already. I'll put my socials up here for a little second so you can follow them. And the rest of my socials will be linked down below. My clips channel and all that's pretty new. All that TikTok's consistent now, Twitch, all that linked down below. But yes, as always, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you all think positive, test negative. Hope you all have an amazing day. I've been Undisputed, and I will see you in the next one. So, peace.